Newspapers, it was predicted should have been dead by 2010. They are taking a bit long to die. I don't know what. Many of the people who own newspapers actually wish they were dead. Somehow they are keeping up a pretense of life, a pretense of existence, which is really very painful to see.
We want to create stories, we want to create credibility, we want to create news, but with an indelible impact. I would like to start this conversation today with Dr. Sarkar. In the industry that you are in the sector that you are in, how important is virality? How important is remaining relevant? And how do you manage credibility amidst all that pressure?
Is it working? Thank you, Paramita. It's always I always look forward to occasions when you can be outside the hospital at midday on a Monday morning. So such occasions are pretty rare, but I rather make it brief because I am too old a heart surgeon to get into the unemployment bracket rather soon. Now, you see, a couple of things that you have to realize that, I think certain generalizations are true and certain generalizations are hazardous. Now, what really has happened in India, in our demographic and sort of socio-economic environment, is of fundamental importance. Whether you are in healthcare, whether you are in entertainment, whether you are in F&B, whether you are in education, we are all different sectors in the larger Indian milieu. Now, the fundamental difference that has happened in India is basically, previously we used to say you need water and oxygen for the basic essentials of life. Now, the biology textbooks have been revised. With water and oxygen, one more thing has come in, and that is data, right? So you have water, oxygen, and data, which are considered to be absolute essentials of survival. Now, if you look at the scenario today, which really nobody kind of expected a few years back, we are currently running an urban internet penetration in excess of 85%. And we are running a so-called rural, and what is rural is a very, very debatable entity, because when and if the next census is actually held, you will actually see that there will be more Indians living in the so-called urban settings rather than the rural settings. The India being a rural economy or a rural habitation is kind of a myth. It's not true anymore. And the rural penetration is now hitting 70% excess. So that is a very fundamental difference. And the other thing which is of great surprise, God alone knows, in a setting where your per capita income has just about crossed $2,000, and that too not too long back, the Android phone penetration is above 60%. Now, this is a very baffling piece of statistics. God knows how come 60% of internet users get access to an Android phone. I think the cheapest one is probably 25,000, something like that. So this is the present, because it's no good having technology unless technology has access. That's number one. Number two, what we are seeing is that the previous forms of technology, of the modalities of mass communication, as probably they are withering. Some should have justifiably died by this time, but certain deaths take longer than predicted. For example, newspapers, it was predicted should have been dead by 2010. They are taking a bit long to die. I don't know what. Many of the people who own newspapers actually wish they were dead. Somehow they are keeping up a pretense of life, a pretense of existence, which is really very painful to see at this point of time. So this is a kind of flux which is happening. Now, we who are in healthcare, coming to the question, for us, and I think for many others, whichever media you believe in, I do not think that I think healthcare should invest as minimum as possible in the print media, because print media, apart from Akshaya Tritiya and selling useless gold ornaments, is generally a waste of time. You should not. And if you are very desperate to get married, your name, some distorted photograph, can appear in the matrimonial columns. So apart from desperate middle class Bengalis wanting to get married, and apart from desperate jewelry industry wanting to sell some useless gold you will hold for the next three generations, God knows why, I think print media has no use at all. You can just forget about it. It's dead, so give it a dignified burial. When we apply ourselves in the digital media, because when I'm not operating and stitching, I'm actually invested in the digital media. I have currently what is perhaps one of the largest healthcare platforms. It has just grown organically over 5 years. My couple of take homes has been number one, content is king, right? Number one, content is king. Number two, respect the audience. Never try to be patronizing towards people who you think listen to you, who you watch you. And please, for God's sake, do not put garbage. No matter you think that, I'm coming from so and so, big time, whether you are a Hindu, whether you are a New York Times, whether you are an economist, God knows who you are. Today's digital media audience has no respect for brands. I don't know. Somebody can get home. There's a young guy who's just left his job in Al Jazeera. A good friend of mine. He was a good speaker in the Oxford Union, Mehdi Hassan. He left Al Jazeera, he left CNN, and he's just launched a platform on his own. Just listen to his content. And he's probably more than everybody else added together. So that is the good part of it. What is the other part of it? I think technology is still in transition. Every day, every hour, something else is coming up. Technology is in transition. By the way, the good news is 95% of Indians are on WhatsApp. So whatever you want to do, if there is one media you want in India, Facebook generally survives because of the Indian climate. Bangla still happens to be the third most commonest language used over Google. And Facebook happens to survive because of the subcontinental audience which is still there. So we have to navigate across these platforms. And I see AI as being a great empowering tool. We are tagging a lot of our healthcare content, when we speak about try to scare people, you're going to have a heart attack, you're going to have diabetes, go home and check your sugar is 500. Doctors are always full of bad news. You seldom have a doctor who has an opportunity to give you good news. But whatever you say, I think today's AI, let us be frank, a doctor gives out a message simply because the doctor wants to connect to the community. If I want you to connect to me, today we are giving messages out which have AI badges and AI linked to it. So if you want to connect to me, no hanky-panky, you connect to me straight away, I get your number, I call you back, a conversation starts. And well before this year is out, something I think the user, as far as face is concerned, the next change which is going to happen, the keyboard is going to go off. So you're not going to get a keyboard anymore. Indian AI is doing, India takes a shortcut to civilization, always. So we are not uploaders, we are downloaders. As far as LLMs are concerned, we are nowhere. But as far as application of AI are concerned, we are number 3 or number 4 in the world. Healthcare is the second most applied domain of AI right now today, right? It's very challenging, it's extremely interesting. You have to keep your eye on the ball, and who are in media sciences now, get out of the habit of typing things, get into versatile voice models, and get into multilingual models. That's where the fun is tomorrow. Try out the Sarvam LLM, which an Indian chap has come out with. It can converse almost seamlessly in about 14 or 15 languages. So very exciting, all these things about translating, you and I talking. You can now have a Google Meet or something where there'll be real-time translation. There'll be absolutely real-time translation. So, I don't envy you in some way because you really have to keep up with technology. but it is going to connect more effectively. It is going to convey content in a more pinpoint way. But with so much of the turbulence of technology around us, you really need to have a clear clarity in your concept, how you are going to apply it, why do you want to give out content, what is your purpose of giving out content. But whatever you do, the substance of what you give out, the specific gravity of what you give out is going to dominate. Because social media has no respect that what you said 5 videos earlier, it has no respect for history or precedents. They live from one instant to the other. So overall, I think we don't have a choice. Let us be optimistic, let us be energetic. So, as Marlon Brando used to say, if you are married to the mob, you are married to the mob. You like it or dump it. This is your life. And I think overall I am actually very optimistic about it.